mko aje, mko vipi? Hey, chikwambi kuna kabaridi kidogo, but anywho, welcome to another episode of Is It Godly, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the previous videos, and if yes, guys, please subscribe, hit the notification bell for you to be notified each time I release a new video. To be a blessing. Yes, guys. So guys, we are single and loving it now. We are no longer miserable, thank to God. So guys, I remember I told you of where it all started. Where did it all start? It started when, God began to reveal these things. I began to read books about godly relationships, and it was such a blessing. Such a blessing. So guys, I am now single and I have embraced it now. And I thank God that I now know that God has a greater purpose beyond what I have limited myself to. And I understand that I have to be a woman fully grounded in God. I have to be a woman who knows herself. Like, no one else can ever complete you. You do not need someone else to actually complete you. Forgive me, guys, about the cat. No one else needs to actually complete you. You are complete by yourself, and you can be complete in God before meeting another complete person that has been worked on by God, and you guys come together and coexist in marriage and continue to fulfill God's purpose in your life. So guys, I have read these books, and I remember now I have decided to actually now begin to keep a personal diary, and I've begun to embrace the Leslie's technique of writing love letters to my future husband, who I do not know. Sijui ako Rodua, ama ako Lokichogio, ama ako Mausabit.
Oh my God.
I do not know where this guy is. Sijui. Sometimes I used to sit down and I think like, ama ako Australia, ama tani mzungu. I don't know. Like, I didn't know. But I left. I felt such surrender. I felt such peace to know actually all these things are secure in the hands of God. Like, I felt so much peace to actually understand that God was concerned about this, and that God was actually with me concerning this particular area. And the moment I began to surrender this area of my life to Him, I felt such a peace, and I understood that actually, God, you got it. You would know exactly what I need, and I release all this to you. So at this particular time is for me to do what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's 2020. It's a blessing in disguise. I have all the time in the world. I have begun to read articles. I am reading books and books after books. And guys, I remember one day I am at home. I have decided to actually begin to write down things. I cannot exactly remember when I got this book, but I remember one day telling God, you know what, God, I need a personal diary now to actually begin to write down these things. I remember one day mom called me, akaniambia,
hey, hapa wiki niko na kitabu, umekuwa ukiomba kitabu.
Because where she works, they are given diaries each year, but at this particular time hakupewa. But she got a diary for me. So I went, saw it. It was pretty. I'm like, this is actually what I need. And I told God, thank you that I needed a book, and you have actually, God provided it. And I began a journey of writing my love letters to my future husband. I know it sounds weird, but guys, it put me in such a place where I felt confident that He's there, not here with me. I am not in a relationship with Him, but I felt confident that He was in the future. I did not know when I was ever going to meet Him, but me writing Him letters each day and pouring out my mind about how I felt that particular day. Because there are times, guys, I won't lie, there are times I went back and felt like it's taking longer. There are times actually I used to see my friends with their boyfriends, and I felt like somehow I feel like I want to be in such a space where you can just call someone and tell them, I'm feeling this today. How was your day? How are you doing? You know, umeamkaje? What did you dream about? You know, there are things I wanted to share with my significant other that I could not share with anybody else. So what I did is I poured out everything I felt into this diary, into these love letters every single day. And I remember as days went by, God opened me up to this particular revelation. And I was like, okay, I don't know where he is. I actually don't know who he is. Labda saa hii ako pahali anatengeneza mtaro ya maji mahali. Tioi, I do not know. Ama ako mahali anatengeneza stima na karibu hivi apigwe shock. Imagine. Ama ako tu pahali amekalia tu hivi kiti batikiti shu inakatika mguu mmoja wa kiti ni mguu. Whatever. Karibu aanguke. You know, I was like, I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's doing. So God actually introduced me to praying for my future husband, and not only for my future husband, but for my future family. So as I was reading articles of people, how people navigated their singlehood and their dating and their marriages, I remember coming across this article that talked about this woman that spoke about praying for her future husband. She took 31 days of praying for her future husband. I was like, this is it. So I remember taking 31 days of praying for my future husband. So I started day 1. So I remember I used to wake up every day at 3 a.m. It took God every day at 3 a.m. Pray for other things that I was led. And then at the end of my prayers, I used to do now a prayer or two for my future husband. And because I wanted them to feel more tangible, I used to write them in my diary. So when you go at the back of my diary, guys, you will find those 31 days prayer for my future husband. So day 1 to day 31, and it was so amazing. Like I felt so amazing doing it. And actually remember, I also, anything that I used to read in articles, and I found this is so profound. I used to like write it down in my diary, and I used to like to write the date. So you will find me May 2020 or whichever day, you will find me like I've written so many things that I felt they would help me one day. Wacha nikwambie, penye niko sahi, I have not read them again, but I am like purposing to actually like go back to my diary and begin to excavate and relearn these things that I had written, because they are a lot, and some of them are so profound. I think, guys, one of the videos I'm going to actually like open up my diary and share with you what I got to write and what I got to learn. So yes, everything that I read a lot of articles, and every book that I read, like nikisoma kitabu hivi nikuta pahali kama hapa, I'm like, but there is something that I should really work on myself. I write it down. Like reading those books, I realized people talking about how certain things affected them in marriages, like, you know, anger issues, communication. In those times I used to realize, hey, baby, hapa nakuanga na shida. So I wrote it down, and I began to pray it through. Like anything that I wrote down, I used to go before God in prayer and tell God, I realized at this particular place in my life, I am weak. God, please help me to work on this. Help me to work on this, another thing. So I wrote a lot of things. And remember, guys, bado sijacha kuandika love letters to my future husband. I used to stay like this. Anytime I used to feel like there's something I need to pour out to a significant other, juu hayuko, hako, na sijui yako wapi, I used to sit down, write them down. Some are very intimate. Like I never used to hide anything. Today I feel this particular way. I used to put it down in my diary and write this and this and this and this and this and this. So like now I have totally embraced my singlehood. Like totally nime embrace kabisa.